Thank you for staying with us on the program. Good morning, Abuja. We have another conversation this morning on the program, and this time around we are going to look at school sports and educational development in Nigeria. And joining us to talk on this is Rukoya Oshua Usmanda. She is an educationist. Join me as I welcome her to the program. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
I can see your sneakers. Ready for the inter-house school competition?
Yes, very ready.
That's great. Good to have you here again, once again.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
All right, let's start this way. You know, schools have been organizing inter-house sports competition, and usually it comes in the month of March, April in most schools. That's my assessment of inter-house schools competition anyway. What's the essence of this in school activities?
So basically, when we're talking about inter-house sports is just about exercising sports with the kids. You know, these sports are not things they're used to in the house, aside from them playing up and down. So the essence of having it in the school is also to find a way of putting the theory part that has been taught in the classroom into practical when it comes to PHE, which is physical health education, and also the importance of sporting activity, which has to do with the health, and that has to do with the home economics part of it. So now it also helps us to also explore one of the domains of learning, which is the psychomotor part. The psychomotor part just has to do with the physical movements of children, this sensory development, the coordination, flexibility, agility. Just talk about anything that just has to do with hand-eye coordination. So once you incorporate sport into school activity, it also helps in achieving the psychomotor domain of learning. And this domain of learning must be actually achieved, because we have three domains of learning. We have the cognitive part, which has to do with the intelligent part, which is the mental part. We have the affective part, which has to do with the emotional parts of it, the love part. Then we have the psychomotor part, which has to do with the physical parts of it. So there is no way learning can be complete without you integrating these three domains of learning together. And psychomotor skill obviously needs to be explored. So, and if parents are not able to explore it that much at home, obviously children have access to that in school. So when you now incorporate everything together, academics, the emotional part, the sporting part, and everything, you end up bringing about an awesome child.
Okay, very well spoken. So now, what is your assessment, you know, of the ones you've organized before and the ones you are organizing, the one that is in view this year?
Yes.
You know, how has it changed your pupil, your students, and the rest more in the aspects that you want them to?
To be honest with you, when it's time for inter-house sport, you tend to see different traits in children, different characters, even when it has, even the teachers in the school. Because you know it's a competition. Everybody wants to be the winner. Everyone wants to be the one to lift the trophy. You know, you have first position, second position, third position, fourth position. But no one wants to be the fourth. No one wants to be the third. No one wants to be the second. Everyone is aiming at lifting that trophy, which is the first position. And also, let's not forget that children are naturally competitive in nature. They just want to win. They have that mindset of winning. Why is my friend winning and I am having to lose? So when you now bring all this together, you are indirectly teaching them that they need to work together, because once it's time for it, yes, then you're also building that self-esteem in them. You're making them know that aside from the academic part, there are other things that you can explore. There are other things that you can flourish at, which is this. Yes. So you're talking about the confidence, you're talking about the self-esteem, you're also talking about unleashing more potentials that even we teachers haven't seen before. Even parents might not have even seen those potentials. But this is the season where you tend to see lots of potentials being unleashed. Then you tend to wonder, so you have this in you. So it really helps them in terms of their confidence, in terms of their agility as well. Then their peers who actually saw that, oh, probably this child is not on the smart side, but when it comes to sport, the child tends to exhibit something else. Then you let everyone know that I'm actually an expert at this.
Okay, being an expert at this. Now, what do you have in the pipeline for your school
Inter-house
students inter-house?
We have a whole lot of things in place. We have feeling, because our school is we are just a section of early years and primary for now.
Okay.
Hopefully in the future we'll have our
Okay,
secondary. But for now we are focused on early years and primary. And I can tell you that our inter-house sport focuses from that early years to the primary section. We are talking about filling the basket where they have to pick a ball into the basket, and that is where the psychomotor comes in. That's why I say the hand-eye coordination, because you are running on a track. You need to know that you are not to leave your track to another person's track. You pick the ball, you drop it in the basket, coordination. You're also talking about speed, because the first person to finish has to get to the finish line. That's the first position. So these are things that you've actually taught in the classroom in terms of the theory part, but you are now exploring it practically on the field. So we have filling the basket, we have sack race, where you wear your sack. We have EPT hop. EPT hop is like an inflated balloon where they sit on it and they hop on it till they get to the finish line. So we have what we call a three-legged race. We have what we call egg race. We have what, in fact, is a whole
filling
lot.
The bottle,
yes,
and
filling the
them.
bottle, yes, with cup. We have so many things. So we also have match pass where you tend to see real officer in action. You understand?
That's good. I can't wait to attend this
Please,
year's
highly
competition
invited.
in your school. All right, away from that, let's look at sports generally. Of course, you know, no doubt that it has contributed, sports have contributed to the development of this country, you know, in even given good image to Nigeria. And our name, of course, of recent has been written on the global map, you know, because of this, you know, achievements and the statements our girls are making out there, and even our boys too. Now, how do we get these children, you know, have a kind of a passion to make Nigeria great in the aspect of sports?
You see,
catching them young.
Yes. One thing I believe is, once you want children to do something for you, you need to make them see the importance of doing that particular activity. Then should you want them to do it effortlessly, you need to make them realize that you are having fun while at it. Don't make it seem like a task. It's fun. When you go out, and you know children don't like to be constrained in a particular environment. They like to be they like to explore. So when you take them to the field to carry out some of these activities, the teachers are observing a few features which they've not seen before. They're observing which can also help them in the classroom. So while on field, you see some of these activities, then you now keep building on those potentials which they've unleashed. You let them know that, oh, I think you're good at this. Then you tend to explore that. Then you also relay that message to the parents. You let the parents know that, oh, I've seen your child
having this particular positive trait.
So it's not just about, oh, my child must be the best in numeracy or mathematics. My child must be the best in literacy, in English, in science, first position in the class, and all sorts like that. It's fine for you to want your children to be the best in the class.
Everything.
In everything. Yes, that's fine. But there are certain areas, these are what we call skills. You know, in this world we are now, you don't necessarily just need to focus on academic alone. You need other skills. You need other vocational skills.
To complement the intellectual aspect.
Beautiful, precisely. So if you're able to groom them from now, making them see the relevance of sports in their life, obviously they will have that interest and passion for it. But should you make it seem like it's not relevant, the children will not see relevance to the sporting activity.
Right, good. Moving forward, what do you have to tell proprietors, proprietaries, and school owners out there as regards inter-house sports competition or sports generally, and what they should do to their pupils, their students, and lots more? Okay,
I would like to say this. Inter-house sports shouldn't just be like a school's event in quotes. It should be an event where you tend to unleash certain potentials in children. It should be an event when you tend to let them know that when you work in teams, you tend to win better. You know, there are some children with the mindset of, I need to work solely. I need to work independently. But when usually
that creates selfishness.
Yes, and there's this general saying, 2 heads are better than one. So when you work in teams, when you work collaboratively, you tend to see that trait of leadership in them, that sense of responsibility in them. You even tend to see that sense of selflessness in them, because you can have a child having to do so many activities. The child has the talent to do so many things, but they will tell you, no, my list is becoming so much. I think I can let so child do this. So you are having to encourage them. You're having to build that self-esteem, which we've mentioned earlier. You're having to let them know that academics, learning in school is not just about numeracy, literacy, or whatnot. It's also about you able to get other skills, which is the emotional part, that selflessness part, which is also the psychomotor part, which has to do with the physical movement, the hands-on activity, you understand? So I would like schools to just, they should not make it like is a curriculum in their school. No, it should be fun and also a way of discovering children. Because in my school, we tend to say, in my school, which is Sky Heights Academy, we tend to say that inter-house sports season is actually a discovery season.
Okay.
You understand? Because you see a whole lot during
of
that
talent
season.
there.
Yes.
Okay.
And we also ensure that our parents are present for that day. So that they can be able to see a whole lot of things which we've been saying verbally to them. Now they are seeing their children in
practicalizing it.
Exactly.
Okay. Now talking to government, what do you think government should do, you know, in order to motivate and push these talents to the enviable height?
I would not even want to relate it only to the government. I will also want to relate it to private investors. Because when we look at investment in sports these days, is mostly focused on the adults. You understand? So I will want them to also look into developing children from young age, making them feel relevant, making them know that you need to also focus in sports. You know, when you have lots of money invested in sports, children know that yes, there is relevance to this. Even your parents, just take for an instance, school fee. The week your parents are likely to pay school fee, the mood in the house is different. Because you see mommy and daddy telling you, oh, I've paid your school fee, you better perform this, you better perform well, you know, all those kind of things. So when you have investors in sports, they will definitely want the children to actually excel. They will not be having to battle with when they become adults. You are not saying, oh, this child cannot do this, child cannot do that. No, it has been, it's been engrossed in them from childhood. So it can start from early years, primary, whatever time. It's just for us to make them see the importance of sport and how it can also be beneficial for them when they become an adult. Yes,
of course. When they become an adult, of course, it's beneficial. And of course, you know that sports is a unifying factor.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much, Rukoya. Did I pronounce the name well?
Yes, you did.
Okay, Rukoya Oshua Usman.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you for the insight, you know, on sporting activities. We appreciate your input on this program in that direction. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So good luck in your intersports competition this year.
Thank you. You're highly welcome as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I've been speaking with Rukoya Oshua Usman, an educationist, and of course you've heard it all from her. Sports is not negotiable when it comes to developing children from their formative stage. It is very, very important for us to allow them do what they know how to do best. The program is still Good Morning Abuja. We have more on our plates for you. Stay with us.